In part 1, we saw that Dao Ming, a member of the F4 group, bullies a high school girl named Shan Kai. Then he goes to her house for dinner. Now we see that Shan Kai, in anger, comes to make him leave the house. At that moment, Dao Ming checks her fever and says, "Who gets a fever in the summer?" Then he invites her to go to Hawaii with him for the summer vacation. But Shan Kai explains that she is going with Chen to his family villa. Saying this, she goes inside. In the next scene, Shan Kai is going to her friend Chen's family villa with him. After this, they go to a beach. There, they both shout their names loudly. Just then, Shan Kai shouts, "My name is Shan Kai, F4 be damned." Saying this, she becomes very happy. In the next scene, they both reach the villa. After this, Chen takes her for a boat trip, seeing which Shan Kai says, "Such a big boat, it must be very expensive." So Chen says, "I was talking about the small one." After this, they both go and sit on the boat, but Chen couldn't even start it. Just then, Shan Kai sees a big boat coming from the front in which F4 were. Seeing this, Shan Kai says, "He was supposed to go to Hawaii. How did he come here?" Chen starts saying hello to them, but Shan Kai stops him and takes him away. But then Dao Ming comes there, so Shan Kai says, "What are you doing here?" Dao Ming says, "I can go wherever I want in this world. Do I need to give you a reason? By the way, is that your family boat? You should take it to a pond." Then he makes fun of them and leaves. After this, Teng Xing says to them, "We are going to have a party tonight, so you both must come." Shan Kai says, "I don't want to come to trouble you people." At this, Teng Xing says, "Don't worry. If I'm there, Dao Ming won't bother you. Come on, I'll do your makeup first. Then we'll pick out a dress for you." Saying this, she takes her with her. In the next scene, we see F4 partying. On the other side, Teng Xing is doing her makeup. Just then, Shan Kai asks her, "Did Dao Ming and Mei Ju's fight get resolved?" She says, "Probably not, because Dao Ming is a bit immature. He isn't even talking to Mei Ju. But don't worry, his anger will calm down in a while." Then she gives her a gift and tells her, "Next week is my birthday, so you must come." Shan Kai says, "Can I bring my friends too?" She agrees to this. In the next scene, Shan Kai arrives at the party wearing a very pretty dress, and all the F4 members keep looking at her. Then they ask Dao Ming, "Isn't she looking pretty today?" Dao Ming says in a rude voice, "Yes, she's looking okay." Now everyone starts having fun there. Dao Ming was just looking at Shan Kai. Shan Kai starts teasing him with gestures, so Dao Ming starts going towards her. Just then, they accidentally fall on each other, and the lights also go off. When the lights come on, everyone sees that they were kissing each other. People also start live streaming them. Because of this, Shan Kai becomes very sad. Just then, Dao Ming says to her, "Why are you making such expressions? Was this your first kiss?" Hearing this, Shan Kai looks towards Mei Chu and then leaves. In the next scene, while going to her room, she says, "What bad luck I have. He ruined my first kiss." After this, she dreams of getting married to a boy. That boy was none other than Dao Ming. After the wedding, Dao Ming pushes her into the water and kills her. Seeing this dream, she wakes up scared. The next morning, she goes to the beach with her friend Chen. F4 had also come there. Just then, Shimen calls Shan Kai by the name First Kiss. Hearing this, Chen says, "Which first kiss?" So Shimen tells him that yesterday Shan Kai and Dao Ming kissed each other. Hearing this, Chen becomes very angry. Just then, Dao Ming starts saying, "I'm sure she was waiting for this too, that's why she pushed me down and kissed me." Just then, Shan Kai goes to Mei Ju and says, "This is not true. Someone pushed me." At this, Mei Ju says, "You don't need to explain all this to me. I don't care who you kissed." Hearing this, Shan Kai becomes very sad and runs away from there. Dao Ming feels very jealous seeing this. In the next scene, Chen goes outside Dao Ming's villa and says, "You stole Shan Kai's first kiss, I won't spare you. You gave me a joker card, right? Fine, I accept this challenge." Just then, Dao Ming opens the door and Chen goes to hit him with his slipper. Dao Ming stops him and says, "You're a farmer boy. Can you play this game?" Chen says, "Are you scared?" Dao Ming says, "Fine, let's start. If I win, you won't stay with Shan Kai." Chen accepts this. In the next scene, they are both on a boat together, and Dao Ming is saying, "Shan Kai is a very rude and arrogant girl. Even after wearing such a pretty dress, she still looked stupid." Hearing this, Chen says, "Maybe you don't know how good a girl Shan Kai is. You don't know how cute she used to be before coming to this college. Once, our class fund was stolen in school, so the teacher kept all of us in school to find the thief. Now we see the teacher telling them, 'This theft must have been done by one of you. You all think you're very smart, right? Take out pen and paper and write down who you suspect. The names that are written the most times, it must be one of them who stole.' So Shan Kai stood up and said, 'Sir, we can't do this to our classmates.' Then Chen says, 'Because none of our classmates can steal.' Then some other students also start supporting them, which leads the teacher to punish all of them. So Chen says to him, "Shenkai, you were being very cool." Shenkai replies, "You were cool too. Now stop crying." After hearing this, Dao Ming says, "Why does your story sound so familiar? Have I heard it somewhere before? Did you steal it from some movie?" Chen replies, "No, it really happened. You know, that same year, Shenkai also became my wife." Dao Ming shouts, "What nonsense are you talking about?" Chen then shows him a game and says, "We completed many levels together in this game, and we also got married in this game." Hearing this, Dao Ming says, "Are you stupid? You must be jealous because of our story." On the other hand, we see Shen Kai looking at the dress that Tang Jing had given her. She goes to Tang Jing's room to return it, where she overhears Tang Jing telling Meiju, "Do you like Shen Kai? Because you seem very concerned about her, and that's making me a bit jealous." Meiju responds, "You both are exactly the same. You care about everyone and want to remain a princess. Even if someone gets hurt because of you, it doesn't matter to you." Saying this, he moves quite close to her and then says, "You said that I care about Shen Kai." Saying this, he pushes her onto the bed and says, "But the truth is I only care about you." Saying this, he starts kissing her. Shen Kai, seeing this, gets sad and leaves. In the next scene, she comes alone to the beach and says to herself, "Why am I so sad? I already knew that he likes Tang Jing." Then she recalls in flashback that Meiju had kissed her and had saved her from being bullied several times. Remembering this, she starts crying a lot. Meanwhile, Tang Jing says to Meiju, "When did you become like this?" Meiju replies, "What was I supposed to be like? I kissed you forcibly, but why didn't you stop me?" Tang Jing says, "I didn't even realize that you had grown up, but now I realize it." On the other hand, Chen and Dao Ming are coming back from fishing. They spot Shen Kai sitting there. Chen approaches her and says, "Why are your eyes red? Were you crying?" But Shen Kai replies, "Some dust got into my eyes. But what are both of you doing here?" Chen says, "I challenged her to fishing and Dao Ming lost." Hearing this, Dao Ming says, "Then why do you feel so great about it?" Chen then starts looking at Shen Kai. Chen, in anger, says, "Why are you blushing?" Saying this, he pushes Dao Ming down and says, "Were you blushing thinking about that kiss?" Dao Ming says, "What does that matter to you?" This leads to an argument between them. Then Dao Ming says to Shen Kai, "You better talk to your friend or I'll beat him up." After this, they both start fighting each other. Shen Kai watches them and smiles. Meanwhile, Meiju moves away from Tang Jing and says, "I didn't want this." Tang Jing then says, "We are adults now. If we take responsibility, we can do whatever we want. If I didn't want this, I wouldn't even have given you a chance to kiss me." Saying this, she is about to kiss him, but then Dao Ming comes and knocks on the door, running away. At this moment, Meiju sees the dress that Shen Kai had left behind. In the next scene, everyone is eating, and Shen Kai is looking very sad towards Meiju's room. Meiju then comes and takes the bottle from her hand and says, "Did you see everything?" Shen Kai replies, "Yes, sorry. I just went to return the dance lot. Do you hate me? I know that I'm just a trouble for you, but in my eyes, you are an important friend." Hearing this, Meiju says, "If I hated you, why would I save you so many times?" Saying this, he goes to his room and starts playing some music, which Shen Kai listens to from outside. Then Dao Ming comes into Meiju's room and offers him something to eat. Dao Ming then notices Shen Kai and she starts hiding from him. Then she thinks to herself, "There are many kinds of happiness in this world, but for me, Meiju's smile is enough." The next day, Dao Ming is getting ready at home when the butler comes and says, "You look very happy today. By the way, the color of your tie doesn't match your outfit, so you should wear something else." At this, Dao Ming recalls in flashback that he was wearing the same t-shirt when she kissed him. Therefore, he tells the butler, "I think this is fine." The butler then leaves. After that, Dao Ming starts dancing happily and goes to college while dancing. On the other hand, Shen Kai arrives at college and then sits on the stairs. Her friend Chen then comes and says, "Yesterday I beat F4 in fishing. My parents were very happy to know about it." Just as he is bragging, the F4 members come and hit him on the head and leave. Seeing this, Chen says, "Good morning" to them, but they don't reply. Then Chen says to Shen Kai, "Looks like now they have started hitting me like a friend. They never even looked at me before, but today they hit me on the head. Only friends do that." After this, we see a classroom scene where Jin Hui watches Shen Kai and Dao Ming's kiss video. Jin Hui's friend then says, "Earlier she used to flirt with Dao Ming only in front of you, but now she has even kissed him directly." Jin Hui says she is flirting with both Dao Ming and Meiju at the same time because she just wants to be famous. In the next scene, Chen tells Shenkai that her video has gone viral. Shenkai then notices that she can't find her shoes in her locker. Then Dao Ming appears wearing her shoes. Seeing this, Shenkai says, "Why are you wearing my shoes?" Dao Ming replies, "Oh, so these are your shoes? No wonder they're so tight on me." Shenkai says, "Dao Ming, are you out of your mind? How can you be so immature at this age? I actually feel bad for you." Saying this, she leaves angrily. After this, Dao Ming laughs at her and tells his friends, "Did you see her face? She was so angry at me." But his friends do not react to this and say, "We are wondering why we made an immature guy like you our friend." Dao Ming then says, "Don't worry, this is just the first part of my plan. My plan is to first seduce her and make her fall in love with me. After that, I will dump her, making her very sad, and no one will be able to help her." His friend then says, "I'm afraid you might fall in love with her first." Dao Ming replies, "Am I crazy to fall in love with such a girl?" Hearing this, his friends leave him alone. In the next scene, Meiju is drawing a girl on the rooftop. Shenkai then arrives and says, "Are you drawing Tangjing?" Meiju replies, "Does it look like her to you?" Shenkai says, "Yes," and then adds, "You have chalk on your head." Since Meiju doesn't see it, Shenkai moves a bit closer and says, "Can I remove it?" Meiju says, "Yes." Then Shenkai starts removing the dust, and Meiju keeps looking at her. Shenkai then thinks, "When I spend time with Meiju on the rooftop, it's the most relaxing time for me at school." Meanwhile, Jin Hui has recorded a video of the two of them. In the next scene, we see Dao Ming smiling while looking at Shenkai's trip photos, and his friends say, "I think he's really in love with her." Then Jin Hui comes and says to Dao Ming, "Hi, my name is Jin Hui, and I really like you. My classmate Shenkai behaves quite rudely with you. I have a video to show you." Hearing this, Dao Ming immediately grabs the phone from her hand, which contains a video of Meiju and Shenkai. Seeing this, Dao Ming becomes very angry. Then his friend says, "Shenkai just touched Meiju's hair." But Jin Hui begins, "They meet daily on the rooftop these days. Even though Meiju likes Tenzing, Shenkai is still interested in him. First, she kissed you, and now she's flirting with Meiju." Dao Ming then tells her angrily to be quiet and leaves. In the next scene, Chen asks Shenkai, "What dress are you going to wear for Tenzing's birthday?" Shenkai replies, "I haven't decided yet." Shenkai then says to Li, "There's Tenzing's birthday party this weekend. Would you like to come too?" Li says, "But she didn't invite me." Shenkai says, "It's okay. She said I could bring my friends. Chen is coming with me too." Li agrees to go. Then Shenkai can't find her notebook and says, "Maybe I left it on the rooftop. I'll go get it." She goes to the rooftop and retrieves her book. But then Dao Ming appears and asks, "What are you doing here? Tell me the truth." Shenkai tries to avoid him and leave. Dao Ming says, "You used tricks on me." Saying this, he pushes her against the wall, and Shenkai, trying to free her hand, says, "What are you doing? Let me go or I'll get angry." Dao Ming says, "I should be the one getting angry." Shenkai asks, "But what have I done to you?" Dao Ming hits his hand against the wall forcefully and says, "Stop pretending. You know exactly what you did." Shenkai then pushes him away and runs off. But while running, she falls down, and Dao Ming comes to her. Shenkai, backing away, says, "Don't come near me." But Dao Ming picks her up and forcefully kisses her. She, crying, says, "Dao Ming, I'm begging you, please stop." Then she sits down and cries a lot. Dao Ming approaches her and says, "Please stop crying. I won't hurt you again." When she returns home, she fixes her hair so her mom and dad won't notice anything. When she goes inside, her dad asks her to eat, but Shenkai says, "I'm not hungry." Her dad asks, "Are you on a diet? Wait a minute. How did blood get on your clothes? Did someone bully you?" Shenkai says, "No, I just fell down." Her mom then says, "Tell us the truth. Did someone hurt you? Stop lying." Shenkai replies, "I'm very tired. Please let me rest." Saying this, she goes to her room and closes the door. She is very angry and crying a lot. The next day, Dao Ming arrives at school with a bandage on his hand. Shenkai also arrives from the front, and they both look at each other. Shenkai feels very awkward. She then changes her path and leaves. In the next scene, Meiju's friends are telling him, "I think Tenzing is back for you this time. When are you going to tell him your feelings?" Meiju says, "I'll think about it." They then ask Dao Ming, "How did you get injured? Did you hit Shenkai or the wall?" Dao Ming leaves for class without replying. In the next scene, Shenkai's friend Xiao Yu asks, "Why did Dao Ming do that to you?" Shenkai responds, "I'm confused myself. At first, when he stole my shoes, he seemed stupid, but then he became so dangerous. Anyway, I'll start going to school a bit earlier and come straight home to avoid running into him again." Xiao Yu says, "What about Tenzing's birthday party? You'll run into him there." "Well, there will be many people, so pretend you didn't see him there." Shenkai replies, "Yeah, Besides that, what else can I do? Xiao Yu then goes to change her dress and asks, is Han Zilu also coming to that party? Shenkai scolds her. On the other hand, we see Lee buying a dress for the birthday party, but it is quite expensive. The salesgirl says, you can pay in installments. Lee buys the dress. We then see the party scene where Shenkai has brought her 2 friends, and they start enjoying together. When they see F4 arriving, Shenkai hides when she sees Dao Ming and tries to leave, but Shimen notices her, stops her and says, Shenkai, you look very pretty today. Saying this, he leaves. Then Shenkai and Dao Ming are looking at each other. Shenkai feels very awkward. Dao Ming starts walking towards her, but a girl came up to him and started talking. However, both of them continued to look at each other. On the other side, Meiju was getting ready for the party when a scene from the past came to his mind, showing Tenzing leaving abroad, which made Meiju feel very bad. Then Tenzing came over, hugged him and said, Meiju, don't be sad, I will come back soon. Remembering this, Meiju started to smile. In the next scene, we see Lee arriving at the party. The security guard stops her and asks for an invitation. Lee says, my friend is inside. Can you let me in? The security guard responds, I'm sorry, you need an invitation to enter. Lee then tries calling Shenkai, but her call is not answered, making her quite upset. Meanwhile, Xiao Yu bumps into an uncle, and his wine spills on their clothes. The uncle angrily says, do you know how expensive this suit is? Xiao Yu, scared, replies, sorry, it was an accident. The uncle then says, it's okay, just clean it up yourself. At that moment, Han Zilu arrives and tells the uncle, let me clean it, besides your suit isn't that expensive. Hearing this, the uncle leaves. Xiao Yu thanks Han Zilu and asks, do you remember me? Han Zilu replies, you're very cute, so how could I forget you? Just then, Shenkai interrupts and says, what are you doing? Han Zilu says, we're in public, so what can I do? Shenkai then takes Xiao Yu with her. Xiao Yu tells Shenkai, I think he's very handsome and his voice is really nice. He's nothing like Dao Ming. Shenkai replies, first, give me your phone. I need to call Lee because my phone is dead. Shenkai uses Xiao Yu's phone to call Lee, but Lee has already left. Shenkai says, Lee, where are you? I'm sorry, my phone was dead. Lee responds, I suddenly had something come up, so I won't be able to make it to the party. With that, she hangs up. We then see the party scene where suddenly the lights go off and Tenzing, the birthday girl, makes her entrance. Meiju goes up and extends his hand towards her. Tenzing comes down, takes his hand, and Meiju leads her in front of everyone. They start dancing together, and Shenkai remarks, what kind of relationship do these two have? An F4 member explains, Tenzing is very important to Meiju. When he was younger, he had a condition called autism, and his mother was very strict, which worsened his condition. We didn't know how to help him until Tenzing came into his life. Meiju tried to avoid her, but Tenzing didn't give up. Today, Meiju is what he is because of Tenzing. We then see that they had been good friends since childhood. After a while, their performance ends, and Meiju says, I want to tell you something, but Tenzing interrupts and says, I know. Saying this, she leaves. In the next scene, Tenzing extinguishes the candles and addresses the guests. Today, I turn 24, and I am going to make the biggest decision of my life. I am giving up my position as the heir of the Teng Group and want to become a lawyer because I want to help poor people. Her father, hearing this, angrily says, Tenzing, are you crazy? Tenzing replies, Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, I'm a bit stubborn, but I'm going to Paris in a few days and I have no intention of coming back. Meiju is deeply hurt by this because he was planning to propose to her. Tenzing then cuts her hair, leaving everyone shocked, and Meiju runs away. Tenzing follows him, and Shenkai follows them both. In the next scene, Meiju is seen crying a lot when Tenzing comes up and says, I'm sorry, I know what you wanted to tell me, but I can't say yes. Saying this, she hugs him. Seeing this, Shenkai also tears up. Shenkai then returns to the party and drinks heavily. Drunk, she wanders alone when Dao Ming sees her. He angrily says, were you eavesdropping on my conversation while hiding here? Shenkai replies, I'm not interested in your nonsense. Dao Ming says, do you know how many girls are after me? But I haven't given anyone any attention until now. Shenkai responds, so why are you yelling at me? You haven't even apologized for what happened last time. Dao Ming says, why should I apologize? You idiot don't even know what mistake you made. Shenkai then places her head on him, and Dao Ming tells her, you shouldn't do this in public. At that moment, two girls walk by, so Dao Ming tries to lift her, but Shenkai vomits on him. The next morning, Shenkai wakes up and finds herself at home. She goes outside and asks her mom, Mom, how did I get home last night? Her mom says, Dao Ming dropped you off. He's such a nice guy, handsome and very sensible. I wish he would become my son-in-law. With that, her mom leaves. In the next scene, we see Lee eating alone. Shenkai and Chen come over, and Chen starts showing Lee photos from Tenzing's birthday party, which makes Lee feel bad because she couldn't attend. Shenkai asks, "Why are you eating so little today?" Lee replies, "There isn't much money at home right now. I'm not feeling well, so I should leave." Saying this, she gets up and leaves. In the next scene, Shenkai is on the ground when she sees Dao Ming. She tries to leave, but Dao Ming stops her and says, "Don't you have anything to say?" Shenkai responds, "What do you want now?" Dao Ming says, "You vomited on me yesterday. Don't you want to say sorry?" Shenkai replies, "You didn't apologize for your mistake last time either." Dao Ming says, "If you don't want to apologize, at least say thanks. After all, I brought you home." Shenkai rudely says, "Thank you," and starts to leave. Dao Ming grabs her t-shirt, pulls her close, and says, "You said a lot of things to me when you were drunk last night. Tenzing is going to Paris. Aren't you happy about that? Because now you'll have a chance to get Meiju." Shenkai doesn't respond, so Dao Ming leaves. In the next scene, we see Meiju alone on the rooftop, very sad. Shenkai arrives and asks, "Aren't you shocked by Tenzing's decision? Will you let her go?" Meiju replies, "Tenzing always makes her own decisions, and she will do what she wants." Shenkai says, "But what if she goes to Paris and falls in love with someone else? Please go and stop her. Maybe she'll listen to you." Meiju responds, "No. Once she makes a decision, no one can change her mind." Hearing this, Shenkai thinks, "When I first heard she was going to Paris, I was very happy because I thought Meiju would forget her after she left and then notice me. But now, all those selfish thoughts are gone. Today, for the first time, I saw Meiju so depressed, and it's making me very upset." In the next scene, we see that they had come to see off Tenzing, but Meiju hadn't shown up. They tried calling him, but Meiju wasn't answering. Seeing this, Shenkai thinks to herself, "Is Meiju really not going to come and say goodbye?" Just then, Dao Ming arrives with a box. Shenkai asks him, "What's in this box?" Dao Ming replies, "It's a special gift for Tenzing, and I can't show it to you right now." Just then, Tenzing arrives and says to everyone, "I'm leaving. You all take care, and tell Meiju to take care of himself too." Dao Ming says, "If I were in your place, I would beat him up." Tenzing then says, "Please don't bully Shenkai." Dao Ming responds, "Who has time for that?" Then she says goodbye and leaves. As she departs, a member of F4 says, "I still can't believe Tenzing left and Meiju didn't come to say goodbye." Just then, Meiju arrives, and they ask him, "When did you arrive?" Meiju explains that he came an hour ago, but was hiding behind a pillar. Shenkai scolds him, saying, "Why were you hiding? Now that you've seen her leave, are you satisfied? Tenzing left to pursue her dreams. If you like her, why didn't you go after her? You should follow her." Meiju shows her his ticket and says, "I also have a flight to Paris next." Hearing this, they happily hug him. Then he goes to Shenkai and says, "Shenkai, you were right. Can't let her leave like this. That's why I'm going to follow her." Saying this, he kisses her on the forehead and then leaves. Watching him leave, Shenkai smiles. In the next scene, they are watching their flight take off, and tears come to Shenkai's eyes. Han Zilu says, "I didn't expect Shenkai to like Meiju so much, but then why did she send him to Tenzing?" Shenkai thinks to herself, "I let them go together because I want them to have a happy life." Then she tells them, "Because I was tired of approaching Meiju." Hearing this, Dao Ming feels a bit sad and then says, "Shenkai, let's date each other." Shenkai asks, "What did you say?" Dao Ming replies, "Are you deaf?" Shenkai says, "I didn't hear you because of the plane noise." "What did you say?" Dao Ming shouts, "You are really stupid. I can't say it again." Saying this, he leaves. In the next scene, Shenkai and Chen are sitting together. Chen sees a notification from college and tells Shenkai, "Dao Ming has mentioned both of us on the college bulletin board. I think I'm going to become famous very quickly. In just 1 month, I'm on the bulletin board." Shenkai reads the notice, which says that the F4 members are challenging Shenkai and Chen to a poker game. Seeing this, Chen is quite happy, but Shenkai is shocked and says to Chen, "We will never win." Chen says, "Don't worry, I'll give you training too." In the next scene, we see a large crowd gathered. Shenkai and Chen arrive, and people start saying, "So finally they have come. I thought they would run away. It will be interesting to see how badly they lose." Then they both go outside the poker room. Neither of them has the courage to call out to the others. Then they muster the courage and go inside. Chen tells Dao Ming, "If you lose, you'll have to carry my bag for a day." Dao Ming replies, "A day? Make it 10 years, because you will never win. And if we win, you have to do whatever I want." Chen agrees to this. Then they start the game. Chen hides a card in his pocket, which the F4 members find out about, so they lose the game. Shenkai says, "We lost. Now tell me, what do you want? Shimen says, there's another round coming up between you and Dao Ming. Hearing this, Chen says, what do you mean between these two? Where am I supposed to go? Then they drag Chen away and he is shouting at them, what are you going to do with Shen Kai? Don't touch her. Meanwhile, Shen Kai says to Dao Ming, so what do you want from me? Are you going to make me eat slippers? But Dao Ming starts getting closer to her. Shen Kai is moving away, and Dao Ming says, I need a dinner treat. Shen Kai asks, what did you say? Dao Ming replies, don't pretend you didn't hear me. You did the same thing at the airport last time. In the next scene, Shen Kai is at home when she receives a message from Dao Ming, who sent her the address of a restaurant. Shen Kai says, what does he really want from me? Just then, she gets a call from Chen, who asks, Shen Kai, are you okay? Did those people feed you some weird thing? But then the call gets disconnected because Shen Kai's phone was broken. She then says to herself, Dao Ming will definitely find some way to bully me again. Because of him, my phone is broken too. Well, let's see what he's up to now. In the next scene, Shen Kai is out shopping with her mom. Her mom brings her a jacket, but Shen Kai says, Mom, this will be very expensive. Her mom then says, just try it on once. Shen Kai puts on the jacket. Just then, it starts raining outside, and Shen Kai thinks to herself, is he waiting for me? Mom, I have some work, so I have to leave. I'll meet you later. Saying this, she leaves. We then see Dao Ming standing outside, getting drenched in the rain. Just then, Shen Kai comes there looking for him. She shares an umbrella with him and says, why are you standing here? Dao Ming then hugs her and says, do you know what time it is? I've been waiting for you for 3 hours. Shen Kai says, did I say I was coming? Dao Ming replies, you lost the game, so you had to come. Then he notices a tag on her clothes and says, did you buy new clothes for our date? But this is only 500 yuan. So cheap? Shen Kai pushes him away and says, you should have gone home and gotten them. Why were you waiting? Dao Ming says, because I couldn't reach you on the phone. I thought you might have had an accident, that's why I kept waiting in the rain. Then they both go inside, and Dao Ming asks, where are you taking me? Shen Kai replies, I know this place. They have very delicious food and it's only 50 yuan. Hearing this, Dao Ming says, only 50 yuan? Are you taking me to eat grass? Saying this, he follows her and then says, the shop isn't even open yet, thank God. Let's go somewhere else. But Shen Kai insists, no, I know this place. Come with me. Dao Ming follows her, but the shop is still not open. She then takes him to another place, and they enter the elevator. Just then, a cleaner arrives and sees a notice that had fallen off the elevator saying that the elevator is under maintenance, so no one should use it. Inside, Dao Ming says, it looks like you're going to starve me today. Suddenly, the lights go out. Seeing this, Dao Ming says, could the elevator be broken? They both start shouting for help. Dao Ming, in anger, kicks the elevator. Shen Kai says, stop doing all this. If this elevator falls, we could die. Dao Ming asks, so what should I do? They then see that both their phones have died and start shouting for help again. Meanwhile, Shen Kai's mom is calling all her friends, asking about Shen Kai. No one knows anything about Shen Kai, and then her mom starts crying too much. On the other side, we see Dao Ming, who goes to Shen Kai. Shen Kai says, what are you doing? Dao Ming then gets closer to her and falls down. Shen Kai notices that he has a fever because he stood in the rain for a long time. Shen Kai then puts him in her lap and covers him with her jacket, saying, rest for a while. Someone will surely come to help us. In the next scene, we see that both of them have fallen asleep. Dao Ming wakes up and starts pushing Shen Kai's hair back. He then says, I'm sorry, it's my fault, but you insisted that I come here. Because of you, we are stuck. Now I'm very tired and hungry. Shen Kai says, right now, I can only take care of you. When you go home, your mom will take care of you. Dao Ming sadly says, I haven't seen my mom in 2 years. When I was in middle school, my dad passed away, and then my mom went abroad for work. Whenever we called her, we spoke to her assistant. That's why we stopped calling her. Shen Kai says, so, you live alone in such a big house. If I were in your place, I would feel very lonely. Well, I admit that this time it was my fault. Now tell me how I can compensate you. Hearing this, Dao Ming gets up and looks at her. Shen Kai then says, I didn't mean it that way. Dao Ming then moves closer to kiss her, but just then, some people arrive, and Shen Kai quickly gets up and runs away. Afterward, we see Shen Kai feeling quite nervous after coming outside. On the other hand, we see her parents reporting her missing to the police, and just then, Shen Kai returns. Seeing her, her mom starts hitting her, but she escapes to her room and says, Mom, I was stuck in the elevator. Her mom asks, couldn't you have called us? Shen Kai replies, my phone was also broken. Seeing this, her mom tells her to come outside. When she comes out, her mom says, you can use my phone now. They then bring food for her. Shenkai is very happy to see how much her parents care for her. On the other hand, Dao Ming's friends say to him, "We heard that you got sick last night. How did you get sick on a date? By the way, did you follow the plan you made?" Dao Ming says, "No, we were stuck in the elevator all night. I felt very cold, so Shenkai gave me her clothes. Then I started feeling very hot and was sweating." His friends then ask, "And what happened in the end?" Dao Ming replies, "Something was about to happen, but then workers arrived." Hearing this, they leave. We then see a classroom scene where Shenkai looks very sleepy and is struggling to keep herself awake. Seeing this, Chen says to Li, "Surely Dao Ming must have bullied her a lot last night." After class, they go to Shenkai and say, "Your mom said you didn't come home last night. Did Dao Ming kidnap you? Did he feed you something weird?" Shenkai replies, "No, nothing like that happened. Dao Ming didn't bully me." Jinhui then says, "Shenkai, stop pretending now. If you lost the challenge to him, that's fine. But if you tell us, we can go talk to Dao Ming." Just then, a boy comes and says, "Shenkai, Dao Ming is calling you." Hearing this, the whole class looks at Shenkai, and she goes to meet Dao Ming. She then asks him, "What do you want from me now?" Dao Ming gives her a bag. Shenkai says, "I can't accept your gift." Dao Ming replies, "Idiot, who said it's a gift? It's your jacket. You forgot to take it this morning." Shenkai then takes it, but Dao Ming puts the jacket on her himself. In the next scene, there's talk at school about whether Shenkai spent the night with Dao Ming. After seeing all this, Chen says, "I can't take it anymore. Shenkai, you said Dao Ming didn't bully you, so where did he get your jacket from? I don't think his intentions are good either." Shenkai, please tell us why he took your jacket. Shenkai says, "I gave him my jacket because..." Just then, Jinhui comes over and says, "Since the school started, we haven't had any fun together. So why don't we all go out tonight and have some fun? Don't you want to join us because you've become Dao Ming's friend now?" Shenkai replies, "No, it's not like that." Jinhui then says, "Okay, then let's have a ladies' party tonight." Hearing this, Chen says, "That means I can't go." We then see the party scene where everyone else is dancing, and Li tells Shenkai, "You should go dance too. I'll stay here." But Shenkai says, "I don't want to dance either. We'll finish our drinks together." Saying this, they both start drinking. Then Jinhui comes over and asks, "Why aren't you two dancing?" Shenkai replies, "We can't dance. You have a great figure." Jinhui responds, "You're cool too. By the way, what did you do that made Dao Ming start liking you?" Shenkai says, "There's nothing between us. Dao Ming is not my boyfriend." Jinhui then says, "If he's not your boyfriend, then introduce him to us." Shenkai drinks and starts feeling a bit hot, so she heads to the restroom. There, she sees a boy playing music, which reminds her of Meiju. She starts smiling and goes over to him, thinking he's Meiju. She touches him and says, "I like you." Saying this, she rests her head on his shoulder. Her friends then see her, and Jinhui says, "She's really good at seducing guys." The next morning, when Shenkai wakes up, she sees that she's wearing different clothes in a hotel room. She then finds a note that says, "You drank a lot last night. Call me when you wake up." The note is signed Thomas. Shenkai wonders, who is Thomas? Then she recalls a flashback where Thomas picks her up to dance, and Jinhui says to Thomas, "We are Shenkai's friends. Let's take a photo together." They all take a photo with Thomas. Remembering this, Shenkai says to herself, "Did I and Thomas really spend a night together?" and starts looking around the room. In the next scene, she arrives at school and calls Thomas, asking, "How did I end up at that hotel last night, and where did my friends go?" Thomas replies, "They were all drunk. They asked me to take care of you, and I didn't know where you lived, so I brought you to the hotel." Shenkai then sees Dao Ming in front of her, who asks, "Why are you so late today?" Shenkai replies, "What does it matter to you?" Saying this, she starts heading to her class and then stops to ask, "Why are you following me? Were you waiting for me here?" Dao Ming says, "No, I was just passing by." As she goes to class, Dao Ming stops her and gives her a jacket as a gift, saying, "Next time, if you give me your clothes, make them a bit more expensive. You must be cold, so wear this." Shenkai doesn't respond. Dao Ming then gets very close and asks, "Should I help you?" Hearing this, Shenkai runs away. After class, Shenkai goes to Li and asks, "When did you go home last night, and why didn't you tell me?" Li replies, "I don't remember anything because I drank quite a bit." Just then, she gets a call from Thomas and steps away to answer it. Thomas says, "Shenkai, where are you? Your school is quite large, I might get lost." Shenkai, surprised, says, "You're at my school?" Saying this, she rushes to meet him. The part ends here. If you would like to see the next part, please let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.